Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. My name's Crystal and this is Crystal's A Height of Nonsense. Episode 4 I think, 5 maybe, 5. I think it might be 5. I'll need to check, but 4 or 5, but whatever it'll be, it'll be. Alright, thanks very much again for tuning in. Hope you have been enjoying these episodes. What have I been up to this week? So, this week I'm a big fan of this show. I was a huge fan of the first series here. It's Last One Laughing on Amazon Prime. Now, if you haven't watched it before, then get a bash, man, because it's brilliant. It's really, really funny. It's a great idea for a show. It's been sold all over the world now. There's one in America, there's one in Australia, there's one in Ireland. There's probably one in other countries that maybe don't speak English that I wouldn't have seen. But it's hilarious, man. And the last season was Bob Mortimer, your man for the IT crowd. There was the fella with the big mouth that's funny, does a show with Romesh. I can't remember his name. My brain is murder for names, honestly, but he's funny. The guy's funny. There was who else was in it last year? Is it Daisy Lowe? Maybe she was hilarious as well. And the concept of the show is that 10 comedians go into a house together for 6 hours, and they're not allowed to laugh. Now, obviously, they're trying to make each other laugh and stuff like that. There's some classic scenes like Bob's songs for last year and other things. So this year it's been split into 2. I've seen the first 3 episodes and so far there hasn't been anybody eliminated. To get eliminated, if you laugh you get a yellow card, or if you even smile you get a yellow card, and if you get 2 yellow cards you're out. Kind of like the rules of football. But football's a bigger joke than this nowadays. So this year, Bob's back. There's Romesh is in it this time. Who else is in it? David Mitchell for Peep Show and Would I Lie to You. There's, I know, I'm terrible. I should have a list of the people. But anyway, basically, the fun is watching them trying not to laugh, and seeing people trying not to laugh makes me laugh my ass off. You'd only really need to ask my wee cousin Ryan, like when we were younger, if we were in trouble and our mums had to use a scalp, what man was would scalp Ryan, and like he would look directly at me and I'd be like that, making faces and stuff like that, and then he would then laugh, and it would just make my scalp his arse harder. But he would do the same to me if I get into trouble with mama as well. So seeing people trying not to laugh makes me absolutely piss myself. I'm thinking about that when we were kids now, and I'm laughing my head off. It's just, I'm trying my best not to piss myself here. So what I done was I thought I'd like to do a list of comedians that I would like to see in the Last One Laughing house. So the first person that I went for is Vic Reeves, because growing up he was like him and Bob Mortimer were such like outlandish comedians, but I loved them. Even as a kid I loved them. Their comedy was just so stupid and like really out there sort of thing. So it was, I'd love to see Vic Reeves in there, because I know if I was in there he would make me piss myself. So that's what I've went for. I've went for people that I think would make me laugh my ass off if I was in this competition with them. So the second one I've went for is Paul Whitehouse. Again, going back to when I was a kid, Harry Enfield, The Fast Show. Paul Whitehouse was like a staple on the 2 shows, and he was always my favourite on both of them. Even the Harry Enfield one, I always preferred Paul Whitehouse to Harry Enfield. So I think that in watching his show with Bob Mortimer as well, when they go fishing, he just seems like a good guy as well, and the sort of guy you'd like to be stuck in a house for 6 hours with, trying not to laugh at. The next every season they have a contestant that's kind of stony faced, like the first season they had Richard Ayoade. This year they've got David Mitchell, who's quite stony faced, and they've got this young Australian guy who I'm not sure his name. I'll put his name up here. I'll look it up and I'll put his name up here. And he's so stony faced. It just makes me. I love that sort of thing. He did a dry comedy, did a dry humour, and other people feed off that as well. So this year, if I was going to have my pick of that sort of comedian, I would go with Jack D, who was a massive stand-up comedian when I was a kid. He had the Jack D show as well, and then he was a team captain on Shooting Stars for a while as well. Absolutely brilliant, hilarious. Again, deadpan humour. Always looks as if somebody's shouting his cornflakes. One of these sort of guys. And then on the opposite end, you've got somebody that's very overtly comedic, very very funny. Not everybody's cup of tea, but I've always been a fan of him. It's Harry Hill. I just think that his sort of humour would be perfect for other comedians, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that makes sense, but like having other comedians run about and we would know the buttons to press and stuff like that, and the things that they just find ridiculous would probably make them laugh. So I would have Harry Hill in my list. Another one for back in the day, who when I was a kid I used to watch every Saturday night, is Brian Connolly. I would have him on the show. I've seen a few videos of him doing a bit of stand up recently, and he's still really really funny. So it would be good to see him in there. Then I've came to Scotland for a couple. I've went for Lemmy, who again not everybody's cup of tea, but I think is one of the funniest guys on the planet. Just he's kind of he's sharp wit and stuff like that as well. But the thing is, if Lemmy does a good one, he often makes himself laugh as well. So there could be a wee bit of self sabotage in there with Lemmy. So yeah, I would definitely have him in there. Another Scottish guy, one of my favourites. In fact, the guy who I genuinely think is the funniest guy in Scottish comedy is Ian Connell. Again, he's able to do deadpan, he's able to do ridiculous. So, and I think his personality as well would just fit in perfectly. I think he's a bit of a shy guy at times as well. So it would be good to see him on there and like seeing more of him himself kind of thing rather than doing his sketch characters. I would like to see Ricky Gervais in there. I think that goes without saying. But I don't think he would last very long because Ricky Gervais laughs more than anybody that you've ever seen on TV. He just absolutely kills himself laughing all the time. So I think he would struggle, but it would be good to watch as well. Um, I'm going to go with the Geordie comedian Sarah Millican. I've always found her really funny. I think she's got really sharp wit and she's got that dirty bit as well that makes me laugh. She's her partner's brilliant. Her and her husband are really really funny comedians, but I would have Sarah and ahead of her. And then I've went over the pond to America, and I'm going to try and get Larry David involved now. If any of you have ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm or even seen Larry David getting interviewed, you'll know how awkward he is. So it would be amazing seeing him completely out of his comfort zone, trying to win this by making people laugh but also not laughing himself, because Larry does laugh when the comedy's high end. So that's my lineup who I would have in the show. This current series isn't as good as the last one so far, but the funniest parts of it are like people having to walk away for other comedians when they're in full flow trying to make them laugh. Oh, and Alan Carr's in it as well this year. Alan Carr's in it. He's been absolutely brilliant. Really, really funny. So look it up if you've got access to Amazon Prime. It's on there. You might get it through nefarious means as well. Maybe you could go to Tenerife for the weekend. But my favourite for this year's one is the wee Aussie guy that I was talking about. Pretty young, actually made somebody who you wouldn't expect laugh pretty early on. So I think he's a dark horse, definitely. So I think he's the one that's going to win it. So as you can see here, managed to get my hands on the new Scotland away jersey for the World Cup. I've, I'll be honest, I'm not a massive fan of it now that I've bought it. it's a bit, I don't know, man. It's a comfy fit and stuff like that, right enough. So, if you like it and it's to your flavour, by all means go for it. But I don't know. I'm only wearing it purely because I bought it. Know what I'm saying? So talking about this Scotland top recently, Scottish teams have obviously not done great in Europe, so we've taken our fair share of slaggings for it. But over the past couple of weeks, I think England really needs to take a look at it. The so-called best league in the world, the English Premiership, was absolutely humbled in Europe over the past few weeks. You had Newcastle getting absolutely murdered off of Barcelona. You've got Chelsea getting done as well. They get hammered off of PSG, and Man City get done off of Real Madrid. But Spurs, man, Spurs get horsed, absolutely horsed off of Atletico Madrid. So what happens then is they start to ask questions. Oh, is the level of competition in the Premiership too high? And that's causing problems in Europe. Now, that is the most backward logic that I've ever heard in my life. Scottish teams get thumped and Scottish football's a laughing stock, but English team gets thumped and their league's too strong for Europe. Somebody really needs to have a word with these journalists because they talk absolute pish. The reason they get fucking hammered in Europe is because they all play the same way. They're easily found out, and it's going to keep on happening unless football starts to change because the game's just lost now. The game is absolute shite. It was Sammy's birthday and we went through to Edinburgh to a Brazilian barbecue restaurant called Rio. Sammy's doing the carnivore diet just now, so basically all she can have is meat and dairy. The odd wee thing here and there as well, but it's basically she's really regimented with it. So if we're going out for somewhere to eat, she needs to really go to a kind of meat restaurant, basically like a steakhouse sort of thing. So she looked up, and we had been to this place before, and I'll be honest, I enjoyed it, but it's no my type of restaurant. It's not the sort of restaurant I like. If you've ever been to a Brazilian restaurant, or a Brazilian barbecue restaurant, you'll know they come out and they've got the skewers full of the meat and they cut it off at your table, and you've got a wee thing, red or green, whether you want more meat to come or not. And I'm a wee bit. I know that folk are going to shout at me for this, but I kind of like my meat medium to well done, high medium to well done. So it comes out and it's a wee bit too rare for me. All the sides and stuff like that were really not to my liking either. But this time that we went, it was the meat was beautiful. I do have to say the meat was beautiful, but that was the bits that I could eat because, like I said, some of it's too rare for me. Tried a wee bit of rare stuff. Yeah, wasn't for me. But what else did I? What else did I try? So I had some ham, which obviously ham needs to be cooked properly. So I had some ham, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to try it. Going to see what all the fuss is about, and I got a bit of pineapple with it. And I'll tell you something, I'm never looking back. Oh my god, an absolute taste sensation. I can't even begin to describe it. The ham and pineapple lovers are going to know, right? And the people that aren't lovers are going to argue with it, but I've changed, man. And I think you need to get another go. See if you claim against it. Now, I still don't want it on pizza because I don't want hot pineapple. What it was fresh pineapple cut in front of you with a big chunk of ham cut in front of you as well. Couldn't be any fresher. Was absolutely unreal, man. I loved it. It was beautiful, and I'm going to have that. I've got 2 gammon steaks in the fridge waiting to go. I'm going to get a fresh pineapple, and I'm going to make myself gammon steaks and pineapple, and see if you don't like it. I don't care, man. give it another go, try it again, use good ingredients, use fresh pineapple, use proper ham or proper high quality gammon steaks, give it a bash, and I promise you, you'll enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, fair enough. But if you do like it, get it in the comments. Any other things? My dad used to love a gammon steak or a steak with a fried egg on top of it. I'm not a fried egg guy, got to be honest with you, I just don't like them. The only way I like egg is in the form of cake or French toast. And people always say to me, listen, French toast, scrambled egg just tastes like French toast. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't care what you say, it does not taste like French toast. It tastes like egg. And maybe that French toast tastes like egg. I don't know, but the way I make my French toast, I like it, alright? So, what was I talking about? Aye, let me know in the comments what you like, what your favourite sides are for a steak or a gammon steak or anything at all. Get it in there. What's your favourite food on a barbecue and all? And if you ever tried the Brazilian barbecue restaurants, what do you think of them? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Let us know. We went out for dinner. Wait, she'd sent me a message a few days ago telling me that Little Kim was coming to Glasgow, and Lil Kim, sorry, is Sammy's one of Sammy's favourites, and our pal Nikki as well, one of her favourites. So the pre-sale link came on. I'm an OVO customer for my electricity, so I get access to the OVO pre-sale. So I went on and I'm looking for Lil Kim, Lil Kim, Lil Kim. Couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, fuck, I wanted to get her this for her birthday. So I went and checked, and after a bit of research, I only found out that she was actually supporting the Pussycat Dolls. So went back on, and I thought, oh no, I'm going to be too late to get tickets for this. Went on, managed to get tickets for her and Nikki to go and see that. So that was part of her birthday as well. And what else did we do? Aye, got birthday presents for myself and the dogs. The dogs got a Clockwork Orange. Have you ever heard of the company Red Molotov? If you haven't, and you're a movie or a TV fan, they do football shirts, but they're designed to resemble like what the movies football strips would be like. Like you've got Jaws, you've got Sopranos. I got Steven Sopranos one and a Goodfellas one for his 40th. So I was flicking through them because I've got a few new ones. I've got a Father Ted one, which is like the Ireland top, but it's the badge is like Craggy Island, and it's got a different sponsor and stuff like that. Obviously, if you have a wee look, you probably find something you like on it. So I was flicking through it, and Sammy seen one that was a Clockwork Orange, and that's one of her favourite films. So that's what the dogs got her for her birthday. So aye, we had a nice day. We come back home and chilled out for a wee while, and then the next day we got up early and we went out, and I went to Book Bug, which is a group. We went with Sammy's pal Nicky and her wee boy Otto, who is just 6 months old. So it's like a wee group for mums and their families with new babies, and there's a fella sits in the middle and sings songs and all of that to the Waynes, and all the Waynes join in and stuff like that. But it's a good wee thing. So look it up if you know anybody that's got a newborn or anything like that, and maybe want to get them assimilated with other kids and things like that. Then it's a great thing to go to. You Google it and see, you'll be able to find it. I think it goes all over Glasgow as well. So the one we were at yesterday was in Govan. So we went there, and then we went out a wee walk with the Wayne, and then we went for lunch. We went into Brayhead. We went to Five Guys. Again, Sammy's on carnivore, so she had without the roll and all that. You know what I mean? The way, basically a cheeseburger with mushrooms without a roll in a box. I had the cheeseburger, just the cheeseburger. Nikki had the kids burger, and we get chips as well. So two cheeseburgers, a small cheeseburger, 2 portions of small chips, and three milkshakes. I get the Reese's and chocolate. So did Nicky and Sammy get Oreos. 60 quid, man. £60. That was two portions of small chips, two cheeseburgers, a small cheeseburger, and three milkshakes. Now, Five Guys is dear, but it is brilliant, man. It's so good. So I never really grudge paying it, but it's not it for a lot of families. If you had three kids or something like that, it's a special treat sort of restaurant. I think it's not like when you would jump into McDonald's after the pictures and get three Happy Meals and it costs £6. It's not like that. It's pretty expensive, but for me personally, it's worth it. I love it, man. It's delicious. So, aye, that was what we done the past couple of days. What else was I going to talk about? Aye, so last year I got a Scotland top. I'm not a massive fan of it, but what I've decided to do is I'm going to try and collect as many World Cup jerseys as I can for the World Cup coming up. Um, I've I've managed to get a few already. I've bought one in the off chance that they qualify. So I've got the Wales away. I've got Mexico home and away. What else have I got? Argentina home and away. Germany home and away. Scotland home and away, obviously. Who else have I got? Italy home. Hopefully they qualify. The matches on tomorrow night, I think. Possibly tonight, actually. Let me check. Hold on. Yep, they are tonight. So Italy face Northern Ireland, Turkey and Romania, Czech Republic, Ireland, Denmark, North Macedonia, Poland, Albania, Slovakia, Kosovo, Ukraine, Sweden, and Wales, Bosnia Herzegovina. So, I've bought a few jerseys. Uh, I'm gonna try and build up the collection. The closer we get to the World Cup, so that I can do some videos on the channel about the World Cup as well. Just like talking about the games and things like that. If that's something you would be interested in me doing, let me know. Get it in the comments. If not, tell me to shut up. But a lot of them are belters, so I've got Venezuela coming. I like the Peru one. The Curacao one's a belter. What other ones have we got? The Spain away. The Italy strips as well. Italy haven't qualified yet though, so on my luck, they will not qualify and that jersey will hang in the wardrobe for time in memoriam, as Tony Soprano would say. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to this week. Making a wee collection of football strips. Been out with a wee man. Went out shopping. Got him. Well, his mum got him some clothes and stuff like that. I I got a wee Super Mario teddy bear, which he seemed to enjoy. Which is, you've got to indoctrinate your favourite things into these kids at a young age. Now, I say favourite things as long as the favourite things aren't like antisocial or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like when Kieran was growing up, I kind of nudged him into the way of wrestling, into the way of computer games and stuff like that, and he kind of took it upon himself to then go way beyond that. Even used to be into, he was mad for the wrestling. So, that's what I'm doing with wee Otto. Nudge him in. I've started him with Mario. Then we'll get him into Masters of the Universe, and then when he's a wee bit older, we'll start playing video games and stuff like that. It's fun seeing them turn into their own wee person, but it's more fun if they like the stuff you like as well. So talking about stuff I like, here is this week's TV recommendation. So this week's TV recommendation is Justified. If you've never heard it, it's a show about a US Marshal, Raylan Givens, who has been moved back to his hometown because he was a hotshot LA or Miami. I think LA or Miami it was. marshal and he shot somebody, and they deemed that a justified shooting, but he got a lot of heat on him, so he gets sent down to another field office in Kentucky, Harlan County. It's called. It's came back to me surprisingly, as you know, names often escape me, but it's a great show. So right, so the show starts with Raylan sitting at a table in a hotel, and I think it's in LA. No, LA or Miami, I can't even remember. Right, whatever one it is, but he's sitting with a guy, and he told the guy, the next time I see you, I'm going to shoot you. And so he's sitting at a table with this guy, and I think the guy puts his hand in to his waist, so he's obviously got a gun, but Raylan's got a gun as well. And the line, he says, "You pull, I pull," and one of them pulls, and the rest is history. So Raylan gets moved to Kentucky, where he grew up, back to his hometown, and he gets put into the US Marshal's office there. He basically works outside the rules quite a lot. He's a bit of a ladies' man, as you probably know. Timothy Olyphant is in everything that he's ever in.
All right, look, I've tried to be reasonable. You give me a word in 10 seconds or I shoot you in the head.
So basically what happens is there's a lot of organised crime goes on in this hometown. One of the heads of the family is his counterpart. He used to be his best friend when they worked in the mines as well, Boyd Crowder, and he's played by Walton Goggins.
You can come after me if you want, but it'll be the last thing you ever do, I promise you that.
Who, as you all know, is one of my favourite actors on earth, but this was one of the first things I seen him in alongside The Shield. So Justified is easily a 8 or 9 out of 10. If you like a western, it's like a western, but it's set in modern times. There's lots of love triangles. There's lots of action. There's lots of violence. There's fantastic storylines that you don't see coming. There's a lot of Willy Wonka. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? A lot of that stuff as well. So it's a great show. If you like, if you've seen The Shield and you like The Shield, then I would definitely recommend Justified. It's brilliant, man, and I would. Aye, if you've not seen it, just get a go. If you watch your first episode, one of the ones, if you watch your first episode and you don't enjoy it, fair enough. But I guarantee you, once you watch your first one, you'll watch your second one. This week's movie recommendation is Jerry and Marge Go Large. Now, this is Bryan Cranston, who plays Jerry, and Annette Bening, who plays Marge. And it's a story about a couple who devise a way to beat the state lottery and beat it legally. It's an algorithm that they use, a method, like he discovers, Bryan Cranston's character discovers a mathematical loophole which guarantees that you're going to bring in more than you spend. So he takes all his money and puts it all on the lottery, and sure enough, it comes in. So he starts doing it weekly. Now, bear in mind, they're not winning the lottery every week. They're making more money than they're paying out each time. But he starts to become a philanthropist. Him and his wife use the money to put it into their hometown and stuff like that. And then the shit hits the fan. They find out the lottery find out what's happening and things like that. Along the way, they face competition, scrutiny, and the story stays light but focusing on the community around about them, kindness, people, and outsmarting the system without breaking any laws or rules. So get it watched. Jerry and Marge Go Large. Right, toys, I'm going to review my top 5 takeaways. Now, everybody, it's not my specific takeaway restaurants here, it's type of takeaway, you know what I mean? not every takeaway is equal. You've got different types of Chinese restaurants that do different types of Chinese food. You might like one type, you might no. There's Thai restaurants, they might not be your thing. There's Indian restaurants, Italian restaurants, pizza restaurants, burger restaurants, you name it. Whatever type of food, you can walk in, order something and take it away. That's what we're talking about, alright? So we're not talking about sitting in restaurants per se, but I'm going to make a few points about that anyway. So, number 5 on the list is Italian. This is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Now, if you're getting a takeaway from an Italian restaurant, or you're getting a delivery, then if you've ordered pasta, sometimes it doesn't turn up in the best of nick. Sometimes it turns up, it's a wee bit dried out. I kind of feel Italian is at the bottom of the 5 because you need to sit in a restaurant to guarantee that you're going to get it as fresh as can be, which is probably the same for most things, but I think you get exactly what I'm trying to say here. You're better off to sit in an Italian restaurant, get the guy come over, give you some parmesan, black pepper, you name it, sitting there. There's nothing better than sitting in a nice laid back Italian restaurant, having a scran, using a wee bit of bread for your oil and vinegar, anything like that. It's so good, it's relaxed, it's chilled out, and you kind of feel a wee bit gangstery when you're doing it. So number 5 is Italian for me. Number 4 is Indian food. I kind of feel like the Indian takeaway restaurants and sit-in restaurants in my childhood are no longer a thing. Anytime I get a curry out of any Indian restaurant or any Indian takeaway, it's kind of like the curry sauce is now like just a spicy version of lentil soup. Now, I don't know if you agree with me, but I remember curry sauce back in the day being dark, Indian curry sauce being dark, really, oh man, I remember how spicy it was, just really Moorish, that kind of, oh, my mouth's watering thinking about it, I'm not even kidding on. Oh man, that, I think I might need to order an Indian tonight. Anyway, but if you can manage to get a good quality Indian restaurant or Indian takeaway, then embrace it with both hands, because a right good Indian is as good as you're going to get. Now, is there anything better than just that naan bread and wiping up the curry sauce after the end of the plate, after the end of your meal, when all you've got left to do is mop it up? Oh man, I'm starving now. What am I doing to myself here? I should never have done this list. Moving on. Oh aye, naan bread's the best sort of bread. I'm including all kinds of bread. There's no better bread than naan bread. But number 3, I love a smash burger. Now, there's a few places round about Coatbridge that do a smash burger. Not all of them do them great, and smash burger is a very hard thing to get right. So what you need to make sure is it's still juicy, but the edges are crispy. So a lot of restaurants, they just smash it down, and if they smash it down, it kind of dries it out sometimes. It needs to be done at the right time, it needs to be done from the right shape, and it needs to be done properly. And if you get it right, I don't think there's much better than a smash burger, to be honest. Like I said, there's a couple of places in Coatbridge do it. Some do it well, some don't do it so well. I'm not going to name any names, but we'll maybe get some reviews up on the channel at some point soon. The first time I kind of tried one was, I think it was Bread Meets Bread in the city centre, and I was blown away. I absolutely loved it. But the thing is, whenever you went to that place, you were waiting a good half an hour for a table because it was such a small venue, such a small restaurant. But then they moved it much bigger. There's also one in the Fort, so that's the one that I go to. So they're to blame for me being right into the old smash burgers, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it for a minute. So, like I said, you need to get the balance perfect. It needs to be juicy, it needs to have the crispy edges, and it needs to have gooey cheese, proper gooey cheese. Then whatever else you want on your burger, that's fine, but those are the basics for a brilliant smash burger. I do like a wee bit of burger sauce on it as well, as long as it's not got big chunks of gherkin in it, because Right, so number 2, pizza. Now, as the saying goes, even bad pizza is pretty good, which is true. It really is, but pizza is something that you sit there and you think, oh, I could go a pizza. You order it, you have what, 2 slices, and then that's it. But I've recently discovered my favourite toppings on a pizza. I got it by chance. It was just a wee meal deal that I got recently where you get a pizza and you get X, Y, and Z along with it and a bottle of juice and what have you. And I asked you what toppings you wanted and you could get 3 toppings. And so I get tandoori chicken, spicy chicken, sweet corn and pepperoni. And holy fuck, man, it is the absolute best pizza I've ever had, man. I'm not kidding on it. And I was eating it at about 4 o'clock in the morning, reheated, because I was working and I smashed it. I smashed a few slices during my break, and I'll be honest with you, I'm usually a 1-2 slicer, but I rattled this. It was beautiful. Honest to God, I can't remember exactly where I got it from, but I don't want to advertise the name anyway. So, like I said, I'll maybe do a review and then they'll get an honest review for me. So, pizza is number 2. Now, here's the thing though. Do you prefer a pizza for the Indians, like the tandoori, or do you prefer pizza like a wood-fired pizza, or are you a Domino's person or a Pizza Hut person? Because I don't consider they two to be real pizza anymore. Now, back in the day, I used to love Domino's. I was never a fan of Pizza Hut, but I used to love Domino's. I would love a Domino's back in the day. But see, when you balance the price of them against what you get for the Indians for a fraction of the price, man, definitely go with a tandoori one every time. But I do like a wood-fired one. There's a couple of places around about here that do wood-fired pizzas, and see if the dough's right. Oh man, I need to stop talking about food because I'm actually slabbering at the mouth now. Right, last one, number 1, tried and tested, the best of them all, no doubt about it, Chinese. Now, here's the thing, right? I'll say this about the Italian places as well. Whenever I go out to an Italian restaurant or order something in, the first time that I go to a new place, I will always order spaghetti bolognese. Right. Now, folk will go, you're going to an Italian restaurant, you can make that in the house. You can make it in the house, right? But see, spaghetti bolognese done properly, the proper Italian way, it is one of the tastiest meals that you'll ever have in your life, right? But see, if an Italian restaurant can't get that right, then I don't go back. Same with a Chinese restaurant. First time I go to a Chinese, I will get breast of chicken curry, chopped, fried rice and chips. Now, again, you're probably going, oh, you're going to a Chinese, or you're ordering for a Chinese, there's loads of different things. This is only the first time I go order this. And again, the rules are, if you don't get that right, then I don't go back to you. So, my 2 favourite dishes are probably sweet and sour chicken, Hong Kong style, with fried rice, or I like a chicken satay or a beef curry. Beef curry is good as well. But is there anything better than a Chinese, especially when you come back for your holidays? Come back for your holidays, oh, I can't wait to get home. Oh, I want a rolling sausage and a can of Iron Brew. And then that night you have a Chinese. I wonder if you go to China, if you come back you get a Chinese. I'll need to ask. Any of you's been to China? Did you get a Chinese that night? Let me know in the comments, So number 1, Chinese. And I don't think that can really be debated. What do you think? So, I was at my mate Frank's wife Jennifer's 40th birthday party last week. I think I spoke about it before, but I need to bring this up because I get into a wee bit of a debate with my mate Big Feds. Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk come on, and I said, that song's an all-timer. Now, I think Big Feds, to begin with, thought I said it's one of the best songs ever made, because that's not what I said. I said it's an all-timer, right? Now, my definition of an all-timer is a song that you still hear today that came out maybe 20, 30 years ago now. I know Uptown Funk only came out about 12, 15 years ago, but I think you'll still be hearing that song in another 15 years, right? Now, we started to have a debate about what songs are all-timers, right? And there's all-timers for all sorts of genres, like, for example, Enter Sandman's an all-timer, right? If you're in a rock club in 30 years, well, another 20 years, you'll still hear it, and it's already, 25, 30-year-old. So, aye, that's an all-timer. Then Big Feds brought up the point, we were at a birthday party, so are all party songs all-timers? And I think there's different sorts of sections that you could put them into. You know, you've got party all-timers, like the Slosh, Beautiful Sunday, that's an all-timer because they play it at parties and the old dears and the young dears and the young guys get up and do the Slosh. So that's an all-timer. So I think any kind of song that's got a dance to it, like the Macarena, all-timer, Saturday Night, all-timer, any sort of song that's got a dance to it can probably be considered an all-timer because these sort of songs will always get played at parties and things. So that's its own separate division, right? But I think Uptown Funk will still be getting played in nightclubs and stuff like that in another 20 years. And you'll still hear it on the radio as well. So I think that's an all-timer. Tell me what songs you think are all-timers. Get it in the comments, let me know. And do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you agree with me? You might hate Bruno Mars, but you need to take that out of the equation. Is that song an all-timer? I think it is. Big Feds thinks it, isn't he? I done a wee test last week. I contacted a few companies and I said, hey, you want to give me some products and I'll review them on my YouTube channel and on my podcast? And a couple of companies never bothered their arse to get back to me, but a couple of companies did get back to me and they said, listen, my man, no, right, no bother at all. But a couple of companies get back to me and said, listen, my man, aye. So what I originally done was I went onto Instagram and I decided that I would contact every company that I seen an advert for and say to them, come on, here's something and I'll review it. Now these are going to be honest reviews, right? And one of these things might be something that you're really interested in, one you might not be, but I'm a sucker for them. I did only hear back for a couple of companies, but one of the companies that got back to me sent me a massive care package basically of candles and diffusers and all sorts of lovely smelly things like that. So I'm going to review them for these right now. Now these came from Alistair Dixon in Darnock, who makes his own candles, his own scents, his home fragrances. He's based in the Scottish Highlands. He does candles, reed diffusers and wax melts. Now I'm going to open some of these items for you just now and let you know exactly what I think, but I do need to tell you, like I said, I'm a sucker for something that smells nice. I can't walk by Lush, I can't walk by Yankee Candle. I'm always in there and I'm always picking up wax melts and stuff like that. So say what you want, I don't care what you say, everybody appreciates a nice smell. So without further ado, I'm going to have a look at some of these items just now. Right, so what have we got here? So this is a Wild Berries reed diffuser. It's for Alistair Dixon of Darnock, like I said, and I'll open it up and let you know what I think. Right, so I've set up a reed diffuser and it actually smells amazing, honest to God. Oh man, that is so good. So I'm going to set that up on the worktop And like I said, there you go. You see that? Very, very nice. Very nice. I'm going to set it up on the worktop, and then I'll light a couple of candles as well. So here we've got the sea salt and wood sage scented candle. That's pretty cool. It's got quite an unusual wee wick in it. I don't know if this is a new thing, but light it and get a wee bash. There we go. It's not really my favourite sort of smell, to be honest with you. Sage it's not my favourite smell. It's one of my favourite colours, but it's not my favourite smell. So if you're into sage, I'm sure that's lovely, but it's not my cup of tea, that one, I have to say. What have we got here? This is Wild Berries, which is a candle. It's the same as the Reed diffuser. So I won't light this one. In fact, do you know what? I'll maybe give this one away if anybody wants it. Put in the comments, "Gee's the candle," and I'll pick one of these to get the candle from Alistair Dixon. Right, what's next? We have got some wax melts, which I'm a sucker for, to be honest with you. These are, what flavour are these? Fig and green leaf. I'll probably like this, to be honest with you. Hold on. Aye, that's nice. That's dead fresh, dead clean smelling. So, aye, that's a nice wee package that I got there from Alistair Dunlop. So he's actually sent me a message as well. Chris, thank you for your interest in the candles. If you're a fruit fan, then I'm sure you'll like this berry one. The fig and rose melts are popular with those that are into their florals, so thought these would go down well too. Hope you enjoy. Keen to hear your thoughts on them. All the best. So, that's from Alistair. Thanks very much, Alistair. I really appreciate it. Sent me a wee postcard as well. And, you know, like I said, I'm a sucker for candles, so that was a pleasure to do. And the gaff is going to be smelling fresh for the next few days at the very least. If you want to have a look at his website, just scan that QR code and it will take you directly to the website where you can order some of those items. So the next company that got back to me was something that I've had my eye on for a while actually, and I just never pulled the trigger, and I thought, you know what, in for a penny, in for a pound, send them a message, see if they'll send me some stuff and I can review it for them and let people know if the stuff is as good as I imagine it is going to be. I can't wait to try these just now. So you'll have seen these. These are Spuddles. Now what you get in the box is a massive big bag of crisps. You get a handful of bags for the crisps, and you get lots of different flavour packets. Now, see, I don't know if you have noticed, like over the past maybe 10 years or so, flavour in a packet of crisps is non-existent most of the time. So, see if you're not getting enough flavour, then this is perfect for you. They're like the old Salt and Shake, except these are flavoured. So, this one here is Nooch and Onion. Now, I'm pretty certain that this would be cheese and onion, I think. Cheese and onion. We have got Southern Fried Chicken. We have got Prawn Cocktail. We have got Crispy Bacon. And we have got Andouja and Honey. Now these are called the Spud Dusts. So what you do is you get one of your bags, right? you get some of your crisps. These come in a Ziploc bag, so that's good. Just need to peel that along. Open your bag. Right, well, I try one without any of the flavour to see how good the actual crisps are themselves. They're like a kettle chip consistency, really crunchy, good bit of thickness to them as well. So what you do is, you take a handful, put them in your bag that you get. Right. Once you've done that, you get one of your spud dusts and you open that, pour some in, right, and then your crisps will all be covered in your flavour now, see? They're really good. So, I can absolutely tell you that the Southern Fried Chicken Spud Dust is brilliant. But what I'm going to do is another video, because it says Spud Dust on it. Now I know Spuddos is a product, but I've got a feeling that you could use that for chips as well. So I'm going to give it a bash. I'm going to make some chips and I'm going to use some of the Spud Dust, and I'll do a video and I'll get it on the YouTube channel and let you see what it's like. So, aye. Thank God I had them there, because talking about the restaurants earlier on was starting to make me starving. So, what better time now to talk more about food than when you're starving? So let's talk about my sponsors, Mondo. Again, remember, if you go to Mondo, no matter when you go, if you mention the Crystal Height of Nonsense podcast, you'll be given a 10% discount loyalty card, the Mondo Gold card, and it will get you 10% off all your meals every single time you go, not just on that one occasion. The last time I was in, I had steak pie. Now, I know I mentioned that their steak pie is amazing, but it really is amazing. But it's hard to get a good steak pie, I feel, these days, and Mondo definitely do the best one that I've had in many's a long day. So they are famous for their desserts. Their desserts are absolutely unbelievable. I'm going to put some pictures up just now to let you see what their desserts actually look like. They look like they should be in an art museum. They're class and very, 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 very tasty. So if you've got a sweet tooth, and I don't know, are you maybe a main and dessert sort of person, or are you maybe a starter and main sort of person? Because their starters are exceptional as well. Get yourself onto the website. I'll put the link up just now. You can have a look at the menu, and remember, if you do visit, to mention the Crystal Height of Nonsense podcast, and you'll get yourself a 10% discount gold card. I promise you, I'm not just saying this, the place is absolutely unreal. The food is beautiful, the atmosphere is incredible, the staff are so friendly and can't do enough for you. And Michael, the big gaffer, is one of the nicest guys that you could ever meet. So get yourself down to Mondo and Coatbridge, tell them Crystal sent you, and you'll get a wee discount off it. Alright, troops? Thank you. And it's now time for me to talk about Indigo Telecommunications. Yeah! Now, if you've not heard of them yet, if you've been under a rock, Indigo are one of the best business telecommunications companies around. They pride themselves on their customer service. There is no job too hard, no job too big, no job too small. Whatever you've got, they will help you with it. If you've got problems with your phone systems, if you've got problems with your internet systems, they can sort you out. They also are the mobile phone providers for most of the Scottish Football League. You're talking Celtic, Hearts, Hibs, Motherwell, you name it. Indigo are there. You'll always see their name round the hoardings at any Scottish football stadium. And like I said, if you've got a business, whether it's a large business, whether it's a small business, and you're looking to get your communication systems updated, get in touch with Indigo. There's the website right there. That's how you do it. So Indigo are making IT easy, 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 easy. So troops, that has been the latest episode of the Chris Toll Height of Nonsense podcast. I always keep wanting to say Chris Toll Variety Show, but that's where you are. You're on the Chris Toll Variety Show watching Chris Toll's Height of Nonsense. If you haven't seen it yet, get yourself onto the Brass Neck podcast, where I was being interviewed by Jack Jester. TV and Panto and Scotland's Jack Jester interviewing me about myself and funny stories that we've enjoyed together in the past. So get yourself onto the Brass Neck podcast if you haven't seen it already. If you are looking for something else, get yourself onto the Heavy Good podcast, which is Dallas's podcast. He will be coming on the show soon, but he's been travelling all over the place, so he's had to put it off. And he's also been doing adverts for Fray Bentos. So, got to give a guy a wee bit of space, wee bit of time. And hopefully that Fray Bentos wave that he's riding comes to a halt at my house for a wee interview. What do you say, Dallas? Move your arse, mate. Anyway, what else was I talking about? What have I got on this week? So tomorrow I'm going to be filming A Pint and Two Shots with Grado and Stephen. Obviously last week was a major week in Scottish football. Celtic getting their arses scalped after Dundee United, Rangers cuffing Aberdeen and Hearts, getting a cheeky wee 1-0 victory over Dundee to remain at the top of the table. We'll be discussing all things football. Obviously there's the World Cup qualifiers coming up. You've got Scotland internationals against Japan, I think they're playing. And what else have I got this weekend? I've got what am I doing? You ever get that feeling that you're doing something and you don't know what it is that you're doing, or you're forgetting something? It's a horrible feeling, that. Oh man, I'm going to need to look through my diary. I don't have a diary. I should keep a diary. I really should keep a diary. Sammy's got one on the fridge door, like a kind of weekly diary that she puts up. I maybe need to start using something like that, because I'm certain I'm going mad, because my memory is shocking. Anyway, welcome to the latest episode. Kidding on. Right, listen, please, I'm going to wrap it up here now. Thank you very much. Remember, get yourself onto this guy's website, Alistair Dixon. If you're into your candles. If you're not and you just want a bag of crisps, get yourself onto Spuddos. I actually do recommend it. And also, if you're really wanting a nice sit-down meal, if you're maybe get something with your family like that, get yourself out to Mondo, and then on the way home use your Indigo mobile phone to call a taxi. So anyway, troops, thanks very much for watching again. If you've got any suggestions, remember, get them in the comments. If you've got any ideas for things that you'd like me to cover, or any subjects that you'd like me to cover on the podcast, get them in the comments. Please subscribe. Share the show, comment and ring the bell as well. Put on notifications, because if you do, I might be able to get this dog to shut up. Right, you! That's enough!